Coming in, yeah.
You know what this means? Chelsea, Tottenham, let's go.
Good. What's going on, you right?
Louis.
Hey, you right? Good to see you. What's going on, you good?
Good to see you, Louis.
Good to see you. How are you both feeling?
Feeling
you both
good.
got on sun a little bit.
Yeah, you know.
No, is it
Pre-season
still
tour
the same
and
size?
that.
You know, all that sort of stuff still?
Yeah, trying to keep it all the same size.
Well, you know, it's fair enough. Just go about.
Not watering it these days.
Go that way. Go.
I'm putting my life in your hands today, Louis. You realise that?
Yeah, I mean, you'll be right.
You reckon?
Well, it's not like I can make that many mistakes. There's not much left.
You bastard.
How are you boys feeling?
Feeling good, mate. Feeling good. Let me move up.
Well, thank you very much. I'll take a seat. Thank you. What's occurring then? Come on, talk to me. How have you been? You got married.
I got married. I was in Mauritius. I was in Israel for the pre-season tour.
Yeah.
It's been a good summer. Very good summer.
You're still lonely.
Not so lonely. But I was best man at the wedding. That counts for something, right?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Okay, yeah.
We were stuck in Israel for 3 days after our flight got cancelled.
Yeah, I saw that. It was
terrible, right?
It was shocking.
I know. We were just forced onto that beach. It was just horrendous.
It was when I voice noted Ben saying, "Do you want to do a collab?" Except it wasn't like "Hi guys, like let's do a collab." It was, I think, about 11 o'clock at night.
It was, yeah.
And we were both quite drunk. And I just decided to impersonate the Zohan. And just go, "Hello, Habibi!" So I was all there going like, "You want to do collab?" It's like, I don't do anything normally anymore. What's the point? It's boring.
You never have done.
That is very true. But obviously, since I haven't seen you boys for a while, you've hit 100k.
Thank you. Yeah,
which is amazing. So well done. Obviously, I mentioned to you when you said it, but I think it's worth saying it now. Very proud of you both because you've been working very hard. You've both gone full time on it as well, which is sick.
We have.
Releasing t-shirts as well.
Merch. Come on.
I won't be buying one, but just.
Why not? We'll give you one for free. A Sonny shirt. You want a Sonny shirt?
No.
Yeah, you said you like the Italian job one. You like the Italian flag. You like anything with an Italian flag. Literally, whack an Italian flag on anything, you'll wear it.
Is there anything in here with an Italian flag on it?
No, but that means there should be.
There should be
lacking. I know you love a bit of Antonio, come on.
I do. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But right now, should we just head through? Who's going first, by the way?
I think I need the most work done, so I'll go first, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's get going.
All right, let's do it.
You boys, let's go. I'm going to struggle to get this chair again. There you go. You sink into it. It's lovely when you sink.
Oh, here, is this where the magic happens?
I mean,
many a cut happens. Oh, well, what's with this background, man? I can't have a haircut with this in the background.
Well, you can.
No, I can't. Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's going to be proper like going to Stamford Bridge on Sunday. This is what it's like.
Well, there you go. It's get prepared. It is exactly that. People are also
going to be careful. He's going to shave a lion into the back of your head or something.
No, I wouldn't do that. I just put a penis in the back. But obviously, for the people that I did notice last week, pass me that. I do have this time because last time it was very slightly noticeable that I was absolutely drenched in sweat under the studio lights. So I'm going to deal with that again as we go on.
You don't even use the spray, you just leer over. Sweat drip onto there. Just hear drip.
It was like there was a point where me and Joe were cutting his hair. I didn't even need to wet it down. It was just that sweaty. Right. Toucan number 1 or 2. I don't know, you guys can decide. Who's Toucan 1, who's Toucan 2?
Obviously I'm 1. Always the oldest, respect for the elders.
Okay, so Toucan 2. So Sim, what are we doing then?
Look, I guess 2 back and sides for number 2. And no, 2 back and sides for number 3. And maybe just a little trim on the top. Don't take too much off.
That's a good one.
Well, how many haircuts have you done now, Louis? What's how many are we talking?
I've done every year now, haven't I? So
every year?
I've done a fair amount.
All right.
I'm a seasoned veteran.
Seasoned veteran of a year? Sim, you seem worried. I am a bit. I haven't seen him in action properly.
What do you mean? I post all my haircuts on Tinternet. You know, it's
on the internet.com.
It goes. I still use Ask Jeeves. I looked over the day.
I'm just worried. I feel like Louis is going to open a tutorial like how to cut hair right now on YouTube or something.
No, I did spend rather a large chunk of money learning to cut hair. So
let's see how it goes.
Safe hands. So 2 back and sides, very easy, very simple.
Simple.
Top. Do you want me to taper it in at all, make it nice and neat at the bottom and stuff? Or
Sure.
Just,
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay.
Take some creative control.
Okay, I can do that.
You heard that, Louis? Creative control.
Me, creative control.
Maybe a fade, maybe I don't know.
Do you want a fade?
Why not? Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I mean,
two's not a fade, just so you know. I can do a little bit at the bottom, but
okay. Let's do that.
Fade it from 2 into 3.
Yeah.
yeah, that's taper. But stop talking, all right? It's my show.
I don't know all these terms. I'm just like, I want a nice haircut.
You just want a nice. We'll do it too, and we'll work from there. But obviously, let's just get straight into it, right?
Let's
you
go.
two are probably on the less annoying side of being Tottenham. I can.
Well, it's what some people say. Some people say the opposite, but yeah.
How's your pre-season gone?
Pre-season, I would say pre-season went fairly well. Obviously we got Mourinho'd in the last game, which was a bit frustrating. But I think we've put that to bed with a very solid start to the season. So I think we've had an amazing window. I'm pretty happy with how things have gone. So it's very, very exciting at Spurs at the moment.
Yeah. It's an interesting period. Obviously, you guys played really well. Your transfers, like, I think obviously we'll talk about Conte and Paratici in a bit. I'll kind of blend into this regardless. But you've done what I think a lot of people weren't expecting.
Yeah.
Sort of the way that the window's gone. You know, Tottenham made some good signings, interesting ones as well. Obviously, it looks like you're going for a bit of a revamp.
Yeah. Well, look.
But it was kind of like the only option, wasn't it, for Spurs right now? Because we got Antonio Conte as manager, and if Conte is going to stay, we need to get him to stay by bringing in the players that he wants. He was never going to stay if we were going to carry on the way we were acting before that. You know, like we were under Jose Mourinho, like we were under Pochettino. We finally got an absolutely elite manager, and to keep him, we need to act like an elite club. And I think we're doing that.
You feel that Daniel Levy's learned that lesson then?
I feel like it, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know if he's learned a lesson, but I think he's making steps to correct past mistakes in terms of, you know what Antonio's like, Louis. You know, you've been used to him when he was in charge of Chelsea. He's very, very demanding. He doesn't take anything less than what he wants. And he starts kicking up a fuss. And I think Levy knows that right now, Spurs are in a very different scenario with a new stadium. Now with a world-class manager at the helm, he's kind of screwed up with the latter part of Pochettino and with Jose Mourinho, and he's screwed up with appointing Nuno as well. There's been a lot of screw-ups and a lot of trust broken. So I think he has to be perceived to be at least trying to change his ways and do things in the right way. And I think it's not just that we spend quite a bit of money, but it's just more that we're signing players early with targeted positions that we've needed. We've gone with what Conte's wanted, and we need to be seen to at least being trying to appease a world-class manager in Conte.
Yeah.
And I think that's what exactly we've been doing. And I think ever since the Super League happened, and ever since, you know, bringing in Paratici, I know the whole Nuno thing was a mess, but ever since we appointed Conte, I think he's trying at least to do things in a different way that he was doing before, and I think that's got to be a positive thing.
Yeah. Do you think that, like, obviously he's done all of that, obviously we touched on Conte and Paratici, who are the biggest and brightest signings that have come in, do you think? Like, who are the players that you guys got
to talk about Bissouma. Bissouma for 25 million, an absolute steal in my opinion. I think he's been one of the best midfielders in the Premier League over the past couple of years, in a Brighton side as well. I love the energy that he's going to bring to the midfield. Perisic as well. You're talking about top left back within Europe the last couple of years as well. Bayern Munich, Inter Milan. He got the biggest output in terms of goal of assist from wing back in Serie A last season. Those two signings are the most exciting for me, and even like players like Clement Lenglet. Yeah, fine, he hasn't been doing so well at Barcelona the last couple of years, but when he was at Sevilla in a back three, he was one of the most sought-after defenders in Europe, and that's why he got that big move to Barcelona. And you've got to remember, in the first year at Barcelona, he was doing well there as well, and I think that circumstances at Barcelona have failed him a little bit, playing a very high line, playing next to ageing Piqué and Jordi Alba as well. I think we've made some really clever signings this summer. I really believe that.
I think the signing of Richarlison is the one that represents the biggest change in our transfer direction, because signing Richarlison for 60 million when we already have Kane and Son and Kulusevski, that is a signing that would never in a million years have happened even a year ago. That is that even he might not be the best signing of the summer, although I think he's a fantastic option up front, and I think he's been really good for Everton. He's going to add a lot for us. I think that is the biggest indication of our change in policy and in what direction we're going, because to add a position of strength when we've already got probably the best forward line, one of the best forward lines in the league, and adding depth to that for 60 million, that is a massive signal of intent for me.
So this is the big one. So people often ask the questions about, you know, Richarlison and the depth and 60 million for depth. But obviously he's going to play quite a lot, or do you think that obviously that's a big signing? But is it something where it's like, do you see the logic behind it? Like, how does that work for Tottenham? Like, 60 million for not a bench player, but like, how often will you probably see Richarlison play?
I think first we're going to see him play a lot of games, because we've got many games this season, Champions League, Premier League and the 2 domestic cups, and they're all crammed in a very short space of time before the World Cup as well.
Yeah.
So for sure he's going to have plenty game time. And you're thinking, right, you need players to compete with Kane, Son and Kulusevski. And you think how good these players are. If you're only going to spend 20 million or 25 million on a player to compete with these players, they're not going to be able to be on the same level as them. So I think you have to spend that kind of money if you're going to sign players to compete with them. That's unfortunately how it has to be. So for me, I think it makes complete sense that we spend that kind of money on a player as competition, because any player who was spending less than isn't going to be good enough to compete with them, and then all of a sudden it's going to be like the situation we've had before, where the quality is going to be significantly reduced if we sign a player who we're spending less money on, like a Bergwijn or Lucas, or what we've had before, like in Kudu and NG. We've kind of spent 15-20 million on players to compete with Kane and Son when they've simply not been up to the task, and whenever Kane and Son have been missing, we've been seriously lacking. Now, when Kane and Son are not going to play, we have someone like Richarlison coming in, and all of a sudden it's looking like the quality isn't going to significantly drop, and that's exactly what we've been calling for many years.
And everyone talks about an outlay of 60 million, right, for Richarlison being a lot of money, but ultimately, if you go to the bargain basement, like he said with Ng's and Kudus, Vincent Janssens, these kind of players, you end up spending way more money. Way more money anyway, because you keep buying, you keep replacing, keep buying, keep replacing, and then you ultimately miss out on your goals anyway. So,
do you feel Richarlison is the answer though? Like, do you feel like when you look at him as a player?
I love him. I love him as a player. I think he fits the mould that Antonio Conte needs. He's versatile as well, can play all across the front three. So I think he's an absolutely brilliant signing. So he can back up for all three, Kulusevski, Harry Kane and Heung-min Son. And when you're talking about starting him, you don't lose that much quality by starting him as well.